We're here in HMS Belfast this evening to talk about the British Future publication State of the Nation 2013 and some of the sources of tension in the country today. Optimism and pessimism, and where people think those tensions are coming from, what makes us proud to be British. Is it the NHS, is it the Army, or is it Team GB?
And I feel very strongly that if sport is properly used, this society can solve not all its problems, but it can show the kind, humane, generous and powerful face that it has. I don't think that they should lose that positive glow that they had in 2012 and feel that 2013 will be a downer. No, I think there are a lot of good things to look forward to. That doesn't mean everything in the garden is rosy, but I think there are a lot more roses in the garden than people suspected when 2012 started.
Some of you might be wondering at the moment, who on earth is she? Why is she here? Well, I'm an unemployed graduate, and to be honest, I'm surprised too.
It's really hard to keep positive about things. But I do think that what we need to be doing is looking more at the opportunities rather than looking at the problems.
So many people come up to me and say, what's it like in the military? How do you manage to bind people together in this way? Well, it's built around friendship. It's built around a sense of community. And I think one of the questions for Britain today is how do we bring that sense of community into the non-military world, if you like?
Well, there's a difference between being realistic and being pessimistic. Life is always difficult. And, there's always dangers, there's always pressures, there's always... people trying to undermine what you're doing and so on. But it's people that matter at the end of the day, and the young people today, and I think, I do feel pretty strongly about this. I joined the Army in 1964 as a young cadet, and the young people today are as good today as they were all those years ago. The young people we see in Afghanistan, they're fantastic. What they need is courageous leadership from people who care. In the same way that the young people in the streets of London, in the gangs of London, they need people to care about them and show them that, morally courageous leadership can deliver a really big difference to their lives, and a positive difference to their lives.
I think what's clear from the survey published in the report and other surveys is that a lot of the anxiety and tension is around a kind of a broader sense of what's fair and what's unfair in society. And I think we've seen that, and particularly seen that during the recession, the financial crisis, that this happens at both the top of the income distribution and at the bottom. So the public and indeed politicians are aware of the fact that we've got a situation at the moment where both at the top of the income distribution and at the bottom, people are seen to be getting something in return for nothing. So whether that be CEO pay and bankers getting rewards for failure, whether that's people not doing all they can to find work and getting benefits, the public are understandably angry about that. And so I think what we need to do is try and tackle those issues, have an argument about what needs to be done, and try and link contributions, both at the top and the bottom, back into rewards.
One of the findings in your report was the young were less concerned about social solidarity. They're very used to having services when they want them and very responsive, and I think that that's something the NHS needs to look at. And I think we also need to be aware of the quality issues and to be constantly striving to improve quality.
So the number one thing that will influence politics, and it will frame immigration, public services, benefits, the welfare state, all these things that we're concerned about will be whether or not the economy turns around. And I have to say, speaking in sort of the third week of January 2013, you probably, if you're a betting man, you wouldn't put a lot of money on the fact that this time next year it will have turned around.